Thought I did the intro last time. Whatever. I think I did do the intro last time, but you know what? I'm going to do the intro again this time.
That's who's keeping score. I'm not.
I it sounds like I am, I
Yeah.
guess, sort of, but not very well. Hey, good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, and welcome to the Blurring the Lines podcast. This is episode 179. I am your host, Peter Nikolaidis, and joining me as always is my co-host, Adam Bell.
Hey, Peter, how you doing today?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling
That's
pretty
good.
good. How about yourself?
I am. The weather's nice. I can breathe. Not that that's normally a problem, but nice, crisp, clean air. And I'm out
Yeah.
at the farm right now.
You're talking about that. That's kind of I have a feeling that friend of the show, Scott Wilsey, might take issue with those statements. I heard things are not so great out in Oregon right now. More forest fires and stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm not burning down my woods.
That's good. That's a good start. That's a good start. Yeah. It's a beautiful day here today as well. I was supposed to have a private yoga lesson this evening, and my student was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I have a doctor's appointment tonight. I forgot about." And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a run. Totally cool.
All
Or maybe a
right.
mountain bike ride. I don't know. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice right now. That I wish we could have a longer period of fall. It's like we get a nice week and a half.
fall is my favorite season. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like it. I'm like, why? Because then it's winter. I'm like, oh, yes. And right now it's fall, which I like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Let's focus on where we are right now, not where
trying to,
we're going.
yeah,
Yeah.
be in the present moment, right?
Yeah.
Present moment is fall. I'm happy.
I
It's
hate
like it's
Sundays.
yeah, I hate
Cause,
Sundays. Well,
'cause-
guess what? It's Friday, so
yeah.
you can be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a Monday coming, so I hate all Sundays.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it. I don't get that. So,
Yeah. That's okay. It's all
yeah,
in
no,
perspective.
it is, but like it's my favorite running weather. It's
Hmm.
my favorite mountain biking weather. I'm gonna get the kayak out probably one more time
Hmm.
tomorrow just to call it a day or a season. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
I'm gonna have a campfire all weekend.
I have an outdoor fire pit, propane powered little
Hmm.
outdoor fire thing. I've used it exactly 2 times. I bought it a year ago for my marathon, my after marathon party, and I haven't used it since. I think I might
Hmm.
need to get it out tomorrow afternoon,
Yeah.
tomorrow
See,
evening.
see, I've got one of those. It's an outdoor, the big silver mushroom heater. The outdoor heaters run on propane.
I do not have one of those. I have just the little sit around the campfire kind of thing.
Okay, cool. So I've got one of those too, and
How
then I
much do
haven't.
those things cost?
They're not cheap, even on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I bought an Amazon. I bought it on Amazon. I don't remember if it was an Amazon version or not. It was still like close to $300 for one.
For one of the overhead ones?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
paid almost that much for the regular old one.
Now, have you seen the ones? They're really cool. It looks like a flame running up through a glass tube. Have you
I've
seen
seen
those?
them.
Those thinking things are like $1,100.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
Uh-huh. No, no, I'm just talking about the one that's, it looks like a big silver mushroom, and at the top it's got,
Yeah,
like a
but
Coleman.
still, if I
Yeah.
had known those were that cheap, I would have gotten one of those instead of the one that I have. Because I
Hmm.
can't like, can you put that on like a deck, or does it have to be on ground or pavement?
It can go on the deck, and it's got wheels to roll it out there. The propane tank actually is in the bottom of it, so you can just leave it out there.
I should have bought that.
And I've got some cigars coming, so I don't have my cigars yet, but I've got cigars on the way so that I can sit outside and smoke a cigar and enjoy that.
Huh. Yeah, now I'm just feeling regrets for this thing because like because there are some nights when I'd like to sit out on the deck and it's not convenient to sit out on the lawn,
Hmm.
and I can't do that as well. Ah, man. Oh, man.
Well,
Oh,
sell it on Facebook Marketplace for $100, and you know,
Facebook Marketplace is
or
something I
whatever.
try to avoid
Yeah.
like the plague. So
Sell it on your front porch then. I don't know.
I wonder if I could use it up at my parents' place up in Vermont. Maybe I'll take the one that I have up there and get a better one to, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
your dad needs
whatever.
one of those.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah. But he would like do it on his porch and burn the house down. So we don't want
Oh, yeah, you don't want that.
So what else is going on, Adam?
Yeah, so enjoying the fall. And I even got a bottle of bourbon to sit outside by the campfire.
Ooh.
Four Roses, single barrel, semi
Okay.
top shelf, not
Okay.
top, not the
Semi-top.
not rich top shelf, like average man top shelf,
Upper shelf.
upper shelf. Yeah. So like a $48 bottle of bourbon instead of like $1,000 Pappy Van Winkle or something like that.
Oh yeah, you're out of my league. That's not happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no way my palate can tell the difference between a $50 bourbon and a $1,000 bourbon. And I
I
don't think anybody
am
else can either. It's status.
I am not that refined.
That's what we need to do is we need to make up some BS subpar product and say it's premier and sell it at top dollar. And
Premium gourmet,
yeah, you can't.
sustainably grown, fairly traded, climate friendly, organic, local, fair trade, shade grown,
Shade
sustain
grown.
ethically, yada yada yada. Oh man.
Ethically gluten-free bourbon.
Gluten-free bourbon. Yes.
Gluten-free bourbon.
With ethics. Oh man.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's all it's about is, just saying, oh, this is exclusive. If you want this, you're going to have to pay this. Well, it's
Yep.
not worth that. Doesn't matter. You can't get it otherwise.
I
I
was gonna
can't
say,
get it. I
yeah.
can't get, you telling me I can't buy your bourbon? No,
Yep.
you don't have enough money. I'll show you.
Yeah, I'll show you money. Oh man. Well, speaking of showing you money, I was at a casino yesterday.
Really?
We have a casino here right in the next town over in Everett, Massachusetts. It's walking distance. I actually, as it happens, I ran around it for my morning run yesterday.
Does it float?
No, it's not that. No,
No.
it does not float. But there is a harbor there. It's Encore Boston Harbor, so you can actually take boats to it if you want.
Okay.
One of these days, I should take my kayak over there. Anyway, I really like it better than the casinos I've ever been to in Vegas and New Orleans because you're not allowed to smoke in public places in Massachusetts.
I was gonna say, what makes it nicer? Yeah.
It changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did not care for the casino part at all. I did walk in. I did walk out with more money than I walked in, so I consider that a win. But no, the restaurants there are really nice and the little shops look okay. And I was like, this is actually kind of nice, inside. I mean, it's, glitzy as all heck. And if you got a couple $1 billion to throw around on a, resort, I suppose you could do worse.
Yeah.
But,
So we went to Vegas. We stayed at the MGM and then we were there for actually a GFI conference when it was still GFI.
okay.
And I think I need somebody to like show me how to have a good time in a casino. Because
I don't get it.
Yeah, I didn't really have a good time. I mean, I didn't have a bad time.
Yeah.
I didn't have any negative experience, but I was like, okay, what is everybody so excited about? And I didn't see it. The buffet was overpriced. It wasn't, it's like, oh, you're supposed to get this awesome buffet for a reasonable price. And I wasted like $20 or $30 on a slot machine and roulette. And I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, that's just it. I didn't really care for it. I don't get it. And I'm like, it's like I'd rather invest that money or, frankly, I don't understand the electronic poker games and electronic. I'm like, you're telling me that's not rigged? Come on.
Yeah, it's electronic.
I would much, if I'm going to play video games, give me something with a joystick and buttons and something I can actually play and influence the outcome rather than just pushing a button. I mean, that's just insane.
Yeah.
So
now, the only thing that I saw that might appeal to me, but my wife wasn't even interested, is they had rooms that you could pay like $200 and you got like $10,000 worth of chips, and it was a group of people. You came in the room at the specific time. Everybody came in there, paid their $200, got their $10,000 in chip, and then more or less had a poker tournament with this group of people who are not pro, like what you'd see on TV, but not
Okay.
that. But I was like, I could enjoy that because I think you'd play for a couple hours. You may not win the tournament or even place or anything in there, but you would have fun playing the game for a couple of hours with people rather than just plunking down, say $50, and 15 minutes later it's gone. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. That was just it. And like, it's like, okay, easy come, easy go. Great. Why am I doing this again? I don't, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think that I missed was I wanted to have some fun playing games, and I didn't get that playing
Yeah.
any of the games.
Yeah.
I just might as well play, Mario Brothers or something. I mean, you put money in, you play a game.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So yeah, well, we need somebody to give us a tour on how to have fun in a casino.
I don't know who that person is.
I don't either. I don't know who that person. The only people I can think of have problems, and I don't really want to go with them. Yeah, they're like they blow lots of money.
Yeah, their idea of fun might not be the same as mine.
Might not be. Yeah.
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 All right. What else we got?
All right. Well, that was not in our topic at all.
No.
Not even close to our list. That's what's fun about blurring the lines. Sonos. We talked about Sonos last week.
We did talk about Sonos last week, and I have had, mixed results with Sonos over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a Sonos customer for over 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But I did find out one of the reasons that I had a lot of problems with, I had, a lot of my equipment in my house is still 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about, they're running Linux. These are little Linux computers.
Mm-hmm.
Show me one computer that's 10 years old that doesn't have some kind of problems running a modern operating system, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I decided to bite the bullet a little bit. And part of this was definitely like the last straw was listening to the last week's Accidental Tech podcast, where one of the three guys, said, this is not an ad for Sonos, but it's going to sound like an ad for Sonos. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll bite the bullet and I'll start to upgrade some of my hardware, just a couple of these things. And so I used my upgrade credit and I ordered 3 new speakers.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have one of these, right? Don't you have the,
No.
you have the Amazon Tap. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I have a Tap, but I've since bleh on it. Okay. I've got a Bose now.
Okay.
And it's just Bluetooth.
Got it. Okay, so I got the Sonos Rome SL, which the SL series, they do not have the smart assistant capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one that does, and I decided that I want one with the smart assistant on every floor, so that anywhere I am, I can say, "Hey Sonos, group this room with that room."
Oh, so they have their own thing? Or
they have their own thing. Now it's different. So they support A-Word, they support Google, and they have their own. And it's I forget the name of the actor. Los Pollos Romanos, they're from Breaking Bad, the big bad guy. He does the voice. It's different it's very limited in what it can do. It can only do Sonos, like music controls and grouping stuff, and it's all supposedly the processing is all done on the device itself. So you're not sending up anything to the cloud. So all it can do is play this, pause, group the living room with the bedroom, stuff like that. But I want to be able to do that when I start something playing and then I walk upstairs and it's not playing upstairs. I want to be able to say, hey, Sonos, group this with this. So I ordered the Rome. Now the Rome SL, I ordered the SL without the smart assistant, because that's going to sit it's going to sit in my kitchen within earshot of the living room unit, which has the smart speaker, or I'm going to take it outside with me where I don't need a smart assistant out there. So I'm excited about that too. And it's I'm pretty sure it supports both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, because it showed up as another or maybe it's just Wi-Fi. I don't even. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's Bluetooth as well. Yeah, because it's like portable. It's a portable speaker. So I'm going to take that out for a ride on the kayak tomorrow, which may be my last kayak ride of the season because we're getting close to that time where time to put the boats away.
Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito.
Thank you, Giancarlo Esposito. Yes. So so that'll be fun. So what they did is Sonos gave me like I think a 15% credit on upgrading, which is not great. I might even get better deals like on Black Friday or something. But one thing they used to do is you had to send in the old equipment, and you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take a couple speakers up to my parents' place, because I've got like more speakers than I have rooms in the house now. So I'll probably have extras soon. At least now I can put one back in the guest room again, which is cool. But I'll have Sonos in every room in the house. But I'm really optimistic that with the newer hardware, a lot of the little glitchy stuff that I've had, it will be resolved. And the biggest problems I've really had with it have been around AirPlay. Which I use it mostly for podcasting, but when I want to listen to music, I just play it through the Sonos app, or I say, hey Sonos, play such and such. Or I can even say, hey A-word, play such and such on Sonos, and it will do that. So but I'm thinking that with more modern hardware, I'm thinking that the AirPlay issues might also get better. So we'll see. But yeah. So as much as I had threatened to, like ditch Sonos altogether and stuff, well, that didn't happen.
Well, I've considered, that my ecosphere, I just don't do well with speakers, because I've got all kinds of people living it. Well, right now it's just Elizabeth and me, but I have a hard time. Yeah, empty nesters. I have a hard time listening to something throughout, because I've either got to take the speaker with me, and I can't hear it as well. So I end up just doing an earbud, because that way I can go about my business. And
if I'm having like a barbecue out back, though, friends are sitting out, that's where you want a speaker, right? And that's where the portable, this speaker is made to be, it's IP67 rated. So if it gets a little wet outside, it's not the end of the world. It's got its own battery in it. So I don't have to keep, I don't have to unplug the kitchen unit and take it out and plug it back in again. So I'm optimistic that this is a good upgrade.
So since I mentioned earbud, I've got a Jabra hack for you. Not really a hack, a fix that I didn't know was a problem.
Tell me more.
Yeah. So I was listening to my Jabra, and the right earbud kept getting quieter and quieter. And I'm like, oh man, it's dying. And so I did some searching online. I made sure the app was up to date. I made sure everything was good. And then I did a search on that online, right earbuds getting quiet. Somebody said,
like this one, which has no volume, that one?
Yeah, just like that one. So they said, go out there, and I don't know if you can see, well, mine has a little tiny hole, like right there. There's a little tiny hole right there. They said, take a toothpick and clean out that hole. Just take a toothpick and turn it around in there. And mine wasn't even really dirty, but it was slightly dirty.
Okay.
Doing that took the volume all the way back up. And I have two sets of the Jabra 65, and both of mine were getting quiet. Apparently that hole is something like, like a speaker hole where it's got to have air to get volume. And it played into it, and both of them, I didn't realize how quiet both of them were, but I cleaned out that hole and they both were like perfect again.
How many, see, these holes look pristine to me.
Yeah, mine didn't look dirty at all.
Huh. Oh, I'm gonna have to try that, but I don't have a paper clip or anything right now to do that. But I will put that on the list, because as it happens, this one is pretty much dead, and I was about ready to like throw it out.
So I don't know if there's anything delicate in there.
Yeah.
So I started to go with a paper clip. But then I went and looked at a toothpick, which was a insulator, and rather than
Conductor. Yeah,
conductor.
I've got some toothpicks. I'll try that later. I'll try it. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll report back next episode.
Jabra low volume. There you go. All right. What's next?
Well, update on my iPhone Bluetooth woes. It continues to happen, even after I reset network settings for the second time this year. So I have to call Apple again on that. I'm not looking forward to it. But today, it used to happen, like I thought it was just the AirPods going wonky, but it's definitely my phone. And Apple wants me to schedule a repair or, with the Genius Bar. And I'm like, ugh. So I've got Apple Care Plus or whatever the thing is, though. So they should just give me a new phone if it comes to that. So I'm not optimistic though, but got a little extra time today. I might make a drop-in appointment. Although they don't just let you drop in. You have to actually make an appointment.
That's a bummer. So I've never had any. I think Scott's right. You have more problems with your technology than anybody else.
I do not deny it. I do. I when I was in college, I remember one of my professors said that was my mutant superpower, like I can crash any system and stuff. And I've heard stories about people who are like, oh, their magnetic fields are off and they can, like, yeah, I thought that was complete bullshit, but yeah, maybe that might be me. That might be me.
Some have positively charged chi, and you've got negatively charged chi.
Negative electronic chi. That's me. Maybe I really should go to teaching yoga full time and go back to owning a coffee shop. Oh man.
I don't know. Well, see, if you're in charge, you can just tell people what not to do. And that you don't actually touch it, it's probably going to be okay.
People don't listen. So talk to me about your question. You had a question about Apple Watches.
Yes. So I was thinking about it. So my Fitbit Charge 5, I got really frustrated with it because it didn't respond fast enough. So I'd press it on and it wouldn't turn on. And I'd press it again and it would then turn on, and my second press would then turn it off. And swipes weren't very good. I mean, it didn't swipe very well. Finally, I got frustrated with it and chucked it in a creek. And my Apple Watch was better, but it still didn't respond as well as I thought it should. Like if I wanted to swipe, I may have to swipe 3 times because it would like grab but not go. Grab.
And this is always
not
normal.
This was normal. This is normal for me.
Okay.
And that's so I was wondering. I have fairly calloused hands. I mean, I've got thicker fingertips from playing guitar for years, CrossFit for years, and farming. I mean, so I've got kind of rough hands and thicker skin on my fingers. And I wonder if I'm just not making a good connection.
And you don't have this problem with the iPhone?
I do not. I don't have problems with the iPhone, and I don't have problems with the iPad.
I could see it being different because, because it's such a smaller form factor. I could imagine easily that it has like fewer sensors or they're not as precise or whatnot as a larger screen. Pure speculation. I could be completely off base, but I could see that happening. I've definitely had times where the iPhone screen was very non-responsive as well. But I've definitely had more problems with the Apple Watch from time to time with that as well too. So that could be what's going on.
Well, and I have a safe. I have a gun safe, and it is very difficult for me to get into it with my fingerprint. Yeah,
that might be something. You might have something there. I mean, that might be even worth definitely would take a look at the knowledge bases, the Apple knowledge base, to see if anyone put anything. But I might even call Apple on that and just say, is this a known issue?
Take your big old fat hands somewhere else.
Maybe your big old fat hands need an Apple Watch Ultra.
Yeah, maybe they do.
So I've had my Ultra now for a couple of weeks. I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. Is definitely the best Apple Watch that I've had. The biggest significant difference really is just the battery life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not astonishing, but I woke up the other day with like I think 93% battery, went out for a 10K run without my phone, tracking fitness apps, using GPS and cellular signal, came back, slept with it, got up the next day, and battery was at like, I don't know, 50% or something.
Nice.
So, it's just like regular, my old one would have been dead, by dinner time or bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of funny because like, a lot of modern batteries that are bigger now, and like my car, for instance, when you get up to like the 80% charge level, it starts to slow the charging rate down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get more comfortable both with my Tesla and with my Apple Watch, letting those battery levels dip so as to take advantage of faster charging times.
Mm-hmm.
Because I usually like to keep everything topped off, but
Mm-hmm.
as a result, you're spending more time waiting for the topping to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I don't remember, like, I don't know how many hours of my life I have wasted at charging stations because I was trying to keep my battery levels high on my car.
Mm-hmm.
And so now in the similar, vein, I'm trying to let my watch batteries get drained a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And, so that I spend less time waiting for them to charge back up again.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it. I have not yet tried the Siren, the alert sound.
Oh yeah.
See how that is. Yeah. So I'm really curious about that. I don't remember if we talked about the band, but how I got the
Mm-hmm.
Alpine band, and I found, authentic Apple the trail loop on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
And it, looks like real. It looks just like the same Apple products and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, okay, your product is shipped. It'll be somewhere, but here between like October 28th and November 6th. I was like, coming straight from Shenzhen province, I bet.
Yeah.
But I just can't justify, like $99 for the band from Apple.
Yeah.
That one that I have, that Alpine loop, that is not worth $99. I don't care. And I was really disappointed. So I got the Starlight colored one. That
Mm-hmm.
thing shows dirt bad like. It is not, you can see it because it's, it's got the like the overlap, style. So when you unhook it, there's an exposed part. And if you hold the exposed part that's usually on the outside versus the inside, you can
Mm-hmm.
see it's like white and gray,
Yeah.
like just touching my jeans or, whatever and stuff. I was like, did Johnny Ive design this? Did it's just like, I don't know. So I'm really not, because I figured I'll just keep the Alpine loop as my everyday wear loop, and just like as a nice not loop, Alpine band as my, my dressy, flashy band. But
Mm-hmm.
now it's like, yeah, I have to clean it and like really have to clean this thing. I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
is high maintenance. I thought this was the whole point. These three bands were supposed to be like rugged and durable, and so a little disappointed in that, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully the $7.50 authentic version that I get is lives up to the promise.
Yeah. Well, speaking of watch, I went back to the old Fitbit Charge 3, non-color, has a button, and it tracks my movement, it tracks my exercise. I can see the time, tracks my sleep. I'm back in business.
You're good. You got it. You
Yeah.
got everything you need. There you go.
And the other thing is, I like the size because it's a narrow, the whole thing's a narrow, the watch is the same
Yeah.
width as the band.
Yep.
The big watch, I live such an active lifestyle
Yep.
that the watch gets in my way. I beat it up pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that so much on my Timex, but my Apple Watch, when I'm reaching down in a tractor and that
I can
watch is
get that.
there.
Yeah. No, I can appreciate that. I scratched my Apple Watch, my Series 4, because I like my standing desk, I just have it elevated on a traditional desk elevated on cinder blocks.
Mm-hmm.
There was one day I dropped something next to it and I just reached down to grab it and scratched it right along,
The cinder
that.
block. Yeah,
So
cinder block's the worst.
so yeah, but let's hope that the Ultra, with all of its protective coating and cases and everything like that, is lives up better. So
Mm-hmm.
you, sir, you sound like you need an Apple Watch Ultra. I think you live an active lifestyle and you need something really superpower armor Iron Man style.
Yeah,
I think that's the one for you.
maybe I'll consider it.
So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's
All
not
right.
talk about anything about fitness or fitness tracking.
Okay.
Push-ups.
Let's talk about push-ups. They're not. Yeah.
So I have been giving a friend, also a friend of the show, a hard time for a long time about taking days off. Like, you should take days off. Rest days are important.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you and I set this goal back in 2019 or something,
Yeah.
2020. I don't even remember how long it's been now. It's been 2 or 3 years at this point, to do 100 push-ups every day.
Mm-hmm.
And with very few exceptions, I
Mm-hmm.
still maintain, I think on average, even with my 10 days off or whatever, when I was in the Bahamas, I still have probably averaged 100 push-ups per day.
Yeah.
But I also did some very, I say research is a strong
Yeah.
word, but I watched some YouTube videos, not
Uh-huh.
research, about some guys who did this very unscientific study where they had one guy doing push-ups every single day, and another guy was just doing them like every other day or every 3 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw very similar results.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wondering, like, I think it might be time to take my own advice and allow for like one day off per week, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe even more. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what is the optimal. And again, like, what's the point? Like, part of it was grit, getting building up mental toughness and committing to things and just powering
Mm-hmm.
through less than optimal circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And then part of that is also like, I like the way they make me look,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I've started doing the modified mediocre Murph workout and
Mm-hmm.
adding pull-ups and squats and stuff. And I'm wondering, like, I don't know what makes the most sense.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, uh, it really depends on what I've got going. Uh, if I've got if I've got full work days on my weekends, I may take off on my push-up, at
Mm-hmm.
least on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
because I am completely exhausted. If I'm not, if I've been pretty quiet all week, I kind of feel like I need to do something to
Mm-hmm.
exert myself because the push-ups are no longer an exertion to me.
Yeah, well, that's just it. And I feel like similarly, like tomorrow, I'm gonna break the kayak out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And my date has stated like straight up she's not going to be paddling, so I'm going to be doing all the work. So I'm like, okay, well, does that count? Because I sure feel when I'm done kayaking for a couple of hours and I'm
Mm-hmm.
I sure feel like I've been doing push-ups.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Actually
not
more,
push-up. Yeah, it's not push-ups, but it's definitely exertion with the other parts of the body. I mean,
it's
so
exertion and it's doing similar stuff for the muscles, like the
yeah, your
pulling away
back.
part.
Mm-hmm.
It's I guess I would guess it would feel more like pull-ups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you are rowing, and rows are essentially similar to, if not the same as, pull-ups, right? At least
Mm-hmm.
incline pull-ups.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I
I
think I've proven that yes, I can do it. I can stick to it. But I think allowing a little bit of, the thing is though, is like, I don't want to, like, for a longest time, I, had a scheduled intent to meditate every day. And then I got out of that practice a little bit.
mm-hmm.
And that is something I do want to get back into. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard, it's like if you stick to it every single day,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes easier to maintain something. And then because when I find out when I start taking a day off here, a day off there, next it's a week off here, a month off there. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a fine line.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm okay with like one day. Uh, and I like to choose my day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I either want it to be Saturday or Sunday. And I'm not skipping any day during the week unless I'm hurt.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
the thing too. That's where I have to allow myself, like, okay, if it hurts to do the push-ups, if my shoulder, my rotator cuff's starting to act up again,
Mm-hmm.
as much as part of me wants to power through the pain, I'm just doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's just stupid because I'm just going to hurt myself even worse.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
I've had some elbow issues. I've had tennis elbow for forever.
mhm.
Um, since I pitched when I was in like middle school and high school, and then afterwards I've always had tennis elbow. And I did a set of push-ups and my elbow was killing me. I'm like, well, I mean, not just like, oh, that hurts, like, oh, I can't put my weight on this push-up. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come back in a half hour, just I'm gonna go ahead and do whatever I was doing. I'm gonna come back, and if it still hurts then, I'm just not gonna do it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it didn't hurt the next time I did it, so I just did them. I was
Got to
like,
do
oh,
them.
gotta do them.
That's how that works. So, oh
Oh,
man.
and I'll tell you, I
Yeah.
mean, well, since we're fitnessing, you know, I've been doing yoga now pretty consistently, around my workouts.
Mhm.
Not one thing I don't do is I don't do yoga like in the evenings. I
Yep.
always do it before I work out and after I work out, or I replace my workout with yoga.
Yep.
But I'm not doing the evenings, and I'm not really some of my things I'm just not any more flexible. Like caterpillar pose, or what do you want to call it, where your feet are straight
Forward
out,
fold.
forward
Yep.
fold. I am still not any more flexible in that.
Uh, and that might be, like you might be at your natural. Have we talked about that? Like, where do you feel it when what's stopping you? Where are you feeling it when you feel like you're getting not flexed?
I feel it. Well, for one, my feet don't want to stay together. It just hurts to just to simply put my feet together like that.
Nothing wrong with
And
that.
if I stay there long enough, like if I can just relax. That's
Yep.
my thing, is I've got to relax. And I don't even know how I'm holding tension until I sit there long enough, and then all of a sudden I'll move. I'm like, how did I just move? I I didn't Where was I holding it? I was holding it somewhere, and I don't know where
Mm-hmm.
I was holding it. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
if I stay in the pose, I will relax, or something will, kind of ease forward. But it's primarily my back and my hips are preventing me
Okay.
from going forward. And I do have tight hamstrings.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's, a lot of people do. I was just wondering, like, when you feel the relaxation, though, can you feel where it releases? Like, does it feel like it's the hamstrings releasing,
It
or when
feels
and we, yeah,
it's in my back. It's definitely in
yeah,
my back, because
yeah.
I don't realize that I'm holding against it. And then all of a sudden, oh, it's kind of like a combination of ab and back
Yep.
release at the same time. And I'm like, oh, okay.
If you're feeling along the back lines, then the prescription is do it more
Yeah.
and be patient. Sometimes good things come to those who wait for a long time. I would say, unfortunately, due to my schedules lately, you and Scott are probably practicing yoga more often than I am. I'm not having a lot of time for that. I'm still teaching a couple times a week, and stuff, and I do, I often go through the poses and stuff with my students there, but I haven't had the time to actually attend yoga classes regularly for some time right now. So
Mhm.
maybe I should prioritize that instead of push-ups for a little while. Uh,
Well, I think
whew.
what I need to do, I just need to make an intentional effort to do it, is if we're sitting down to watch TV, I just need to sit in the forward
Yep.
bent and just relax. Just
Yep.
don't think about it. Just let my body relax. And I mean, don't try to force it. Just let it go. Do
Yep.
that, and do frog pose, because both of those I could do while sitting there in front of the television, just letting the body relax.
Yep. I definitely have done that. If I'm going to watch TV, I don't count that as, as a yin yoga practice, but
Yeah.
I will sit in a yin yoga pose when I'm watching TV from time to time. And we're like, hey, at least I'm doing something for my body. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yoga TV time, not yoga TV time.
Not yoga TV time. Yeah. What else? Where are we?
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Up,
There we go.
you're trying to maintain your running.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I'm trying to figure out now what my normal routine should be in between races. Like this week, for instance, as of right now, I've only done about 11 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to figure out, like, without a formal plan, how to maintain my base that I've built up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to lose everything. So I'm thinking tomorrow I may target 10 miles again, just to sort of try to keep that, like at least 20 miles a week. Because that's what I was doing before I was actively training, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, if it's time to like amp it up and target maybe 30 miles a week
Mm-hmm.
or something as my baseline.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm saying this as work is really picking up and I'm doing a lot more consulting stuff like that, which is chewing into my time and not spending enough time practicing yoga. So it's a balancing act.
Mm-hmm.
I got to figure out what I want to prioritize. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like I want to I don't mind. I would like to be a guy who's regularly running like 30 or 50 miles a week. I think that that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know. I got to figure out how to find the time and what makes the most sense on that. But that's my current thing I'm wrestling with, is to try to figure out how to fit in the running that I want to keep and not lose this base that I built up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I don't know anything about running. I mean, I know you run, but yeah, but as far as the science behind it, because I know, I've got a not a close friend, a associative friend who does ultra marathons, and he'll do those crazy 100 ones and the back-to-back marathons, and it doesn't seem like he trains all the time. He does well. He does something every single day, uh, but he doesn't run 100 miles other than those races.
Right. Yeah. Well, exactly. But I mean, over the course of the week, he's probably running 100 miles. Maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know. Maybe not.
yeah.
I don't. Totally. Maybe he's not. Actually, he's probably not. I don't know.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. See, I
just,
don't know either.
I'm just
Like,
speculating. This is
uh,
completely just guessing. Take that back. Forget I said anything.
it's,
Can't trust me.
I do know. I know you need Vaseline for your nipples. That's about all I know.
Uh,
And rub
okay.
spots.
Great. Good to know. Thanks. Oh, brother.
Oh, so you're this weekend? You're going kayaking.
Yep.
This weekend I am working at the farm. So
Good.
we're we've got lavender plants to replace ones that died, and gonna water things, and I'm gonna work on my network stuff here and clean that up. But gonna have a low key weekend.
Sounds good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna be probably doing pretty much the same. Not really planning anything major. Couple of runs, chilling. Again, maybe sitting outside for the last time with the fire after the kayak.
Hmm.
Who knows? So yeah, just chilling out. I'm curious though. I'm looking now at one of my friends on Strava, and this week he's averaged around 17, 19, 18 miles for this week.
Hmm.
So, and on the average though, geez, monthly average. I guess I'm looking at no. No, I'm looking at his weekly average. He was training, like he does like lots of marathons. Like he just did Chicago a couple weeks ago and stuff,
Hmm.
and he was doing like 80 miles a week, anywhere from like 50 to 80 miles a week on average.
Yeah, there you go.
On that note, we should probably wrap up soon so I can go for a run.
Yeah, you got some miles to go, and
Got some miles to add on. Yep. I thought I was going to do just the 30-minute jog, but apparently it's going to be more like 60.
hmm
Oh boy. Hey, do you have anything nifty that you want to
I
share with our listeners?
I have something nifty, a follow-up nifty from one of your nifties was the meter. And so I got the meter and I have been using it, and and I've been a grill chef. I mean, in high school, that's what I did, in college. I worked as a grill chef, so I kind of felt like I could cook a good steak.
Yep.
But this makes it so much easier.
Game changer.
Yeah, yeah. So I've cooked ribeyes, I've cooked New York strips, I've cooked chicken, I've cooked frozen New York strips, which it says don't cook frozen New York strips. I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway. I mean, they weren't completely frozen. They were partially, they had been in the refrigerator all day and they just hadn't finished their thaw.
Right.
So it wasn't completely frozen. And
Got it.
it still cooked a perfectly done steak, because I chose them to be medium because my wife doesn't like them raw. And I was like, they're frozen. I'll give the thicker one to me and choose it for medium, and hers will be medium to medium well. And it was perfect. Even having been frozen, and even saying it's not recommended to cook your meat frozen because it might not come out right. Chicken was perfect. I'm like, heck
There
yeah,
you
it's
go.
working.
I've liked the meters. I thought I had a problem with one of them because I thought that there was like incomplete or inconsistent readings, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems more like my it was my grill. There
Mm-hmm.
like really were inconsistent placements. The heat was that different.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like the meters, and of course I bought two of them just in time to really cut dramatically back on my grilling and meat intakes. Wonderful. As it happened last night, I had steak. I had an amazing filet mignon at a restaurant at the casino last
Mm-hmm.
night, and it was just amazing. Definitely caused me to go over my target cholesterol intake for the day, but it was worth it. It was such a good steak. So I'm really, really psyched about that. But I have not been using the meter recently, but my meat share from the local Walden local meat thing will be showing up sometime in the next couple of days. So I'll have chicken or even fish that I could use with it
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
and I did just for kicks once. I did use it in a plant-based burger just for kicks. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it worked. So there you go.
So I think the next thing I want to try is cast iron skillet tuna steak in the oven.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tuna steak. I like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'd eat that.
Yeah. I like mine rare to medium rare, and
Yep.
it's nice. So.
Yeah. No, I do like the meter, and I know that like what um the price just went up. They keep on emailing you. I don't know. They keep on emailing me, telling me like, get now. Oh, price is going up. Price is going up. And then they're like, oh, but if you get if you order the meter block, you get another meter for free or something. I'm like, I have two of them. I think I'm
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
think I'm good.
I need one down here at the farm. I had one at home, but if I'm down here by myself, I'll take the cast iron skillet, and I'll do it on the stove top, but I'll take the cast iron skillet with the cast iron top, olive oil, get it hot inside there, throw the tuna in, sear it on both sides, and eat
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm. Sounds yummy.
Yes, it tastes about as much like a steak as you can possibly get
Yeah.
without being a
So
steak.
I forget, have you tried any of the plant-based steaks and stuff or plant-based foods, burgers and things?
I have not. I've cooked them
Yep.
because my daughter likes to not eat red meat, so
Yep.
I've cooked them, but I've not really tasted them.
Yeah. I I'm okay with them.
I'll have to
They're
give
my
them a
main
try.
thing. I'm actually okay with them. So yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely eating a lot. I mean, I don't see myself buying red meat again anytime soon.
hmm
And we'll even see like even with my chicken and fish, I'm still cutting way down on those. I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
hmm
So
Yeah.
except
Yeah.
using the meter.
Yeah. I'll probably eat less red meat, and I don't know. I don't know. I guess as we get older, we notice things more. Because I've noticed that I had a steak, a New York strip Wednesday night. We went out. It was a business dinner, and I ate a strip, and I didn't feel as good the next morning when I got
Mhm.
up to work out. Of course, I ate a steak at like 7:30, and then I'm getting up at 5 a.m., which so it hasn't even been a full 12 hours since my
Yeah.
body's had that meat, so it was still working on it.
Yep. Yep.
And I didn't feel as good as I normally felt. I mean, not.
That's the thing, you say, when we get older, we feel more like if you're actually paying attention.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I agree. I'm more in tune. I don't know if it's just um because I'm older. I like to think it's more because I'm cultivating more body awareness and stuff. So
Hmm.
so
Yeah. Well, and when we were younger, our bodies healed a lot faster. And I think that we kind of like alcohol. I mean, I would drink stupid quantities of alcohol when I was in college. And then, by 10 or 11 the next day, my hangover was, if I drank that same volume of alcohol today, I think it might ruin a couple weeks. Maybe not
yeah,
a couple weeks, but at least 2 or 3 days, I would feel awful.
absolutely. No, absolutely.
So now
Oh
I
boy.
stick to, a small bourbon or a couple beers, and that's good.
Yep. There you go. Cool. All right. Do we have anything else that we need to cover today?
Well, did you do the Paqui one chip challenge this year?
I did.
Is there a video of it somewhere?
There is.
There is.
It's gross.
Gross.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was disgusting. I did the challenge and I withheld eating or drinking anything for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it really sucked. Yes. So I will give you a link to include into the show notes, and I recommend that nobody watch it.
So,
Uh,
what, I mean, in the past, have they been like, I mean, they were obviously hot, but did they taste bad? I mean, were they
yeah.
bad like
Oh, they
this?
always taste horrible. They
Mm-hmm.
taste terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it was, it just last year, I think actually was a little worse.
Mm-hmm.
But this year it was terrible. And I was constantly spitting just to like clear my mouth out, just to try to get the flavor out of my mouth, like
Mm-hmm.
again and again and again. It was really bad. It was
Yeah.
really, really, really bad. It was really bad.
Yeah. It was bad.
It was really
It
bad.
was really bad.
It was really bad. So I
Yes.
will dig up. I can't find it. I'm looking on YouTube right now. I thought I'd be able to find it real quick, but I click on my library and I see there's a section called uploads, but when I mouse over it, nothing happens.
Hmm.
It's not a link, so I can't click on my uploads. I don't understand.
Are
It's
you
not in my
not logged in?
library. There's downloads, which I don't have any. It's so bizarre. YouTube, what the heck? Okay, your videos.
There you go. They do make it hard to find your videos. It's not as hard now, but they did for a while there. It was very hard for me to find my own videos.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're right. It's gotten easier, but it's not great.
Hmm.
All right, but I found it. All right, so cool. There we go. Here's a link. Don't watch it.
Yeah,
I
I
will.
don't understand hot without tasting good. I mean, I really like Tabasco.
Yeah,
It is not hot. I
yeah.
mean, it tastes good to me at this point.
So what I will say is, when I bought the one chip challenge, I also bought a bag of the Paqui chips, the regular Paqui chips,
Hmm.
which on the scale of hot to like atomic, they are rated as freaking hot.
Hmm.
I do like those. There is a burn there. Most of my
Hmm.
friends would go insane eating these.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, this is good. This is a nice burn. I feel it.
Hmm.
I feel a little bit of a burn in my belly, but not really bad.
Hmm.
That Paqui chip, about half an hour after I had eaten it,
Hmm.
I thought like I was getting nauseous.
Uh,
I thought I was going to have to throw up. I couldn't sit still. It was bad. It was definitely really bad. So I ended up eating some ice cream just to literally just to cool my stomach.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so it was bad. But anyway, yes.
And then we call that, when it comes back out, we call it the Ring of Fire.
The ring of fire. Yeah, I went down and it was a burning ring of fire. So
Yeah.
oh brother. All right. Well,
All
there.
right.
Cool. I think are we good?
I think we're good.
I
We
think
had a
we're
good
good.
episode. It was definitely more fitness. I was thinking, we in our future we might do some technical stuff.
Yeah.
Why not? We haven't done technical in a
We
while.
haven't done the lines have not been so blurry lately. They have been just like fitness and personal stuff. So we should probably get back into a little bit of tech from time to time.
Yeah, let's do
Um,
some tech and
maybe a
um,
little more formal review of like the Sonos Rome or the Apple Watch Ultra
mhm,
or heck the meter.
a meter.
Why not? Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, very good. So, listener, we do want your feedback. If you'd like to discuss a particular topic, then you can drop us a line at www.blurringthelinespodcast.com. You can find us at our websites and locations on Twitter, paradigmcc.com, yogawithpeter.com, friendswithbrews.com, and at Nikolaidis for your Twitter needs. And you can find me at sublimecomp.com, rrlavenderfarm.com, and at sublimecomp. And with that, we can hit the big
Big red
red
button. Cool. All right. I got to bail because I have a one-on-one with one of my team coming up.